I am getting Cayman Creek baby-proofed today. All right, so you guys know a few months ago I started to put a smaller gauge wire around Cayman Creek, and we are going to continue that today, and we got to get it done because I want to get this baby proofed, but I also want to get it mud turtle proof. Eventually these rescued mud turtles are going to live in Cayman Creek, and you can see we have a smaller gauge wire. I'm going to use some of the wire. I want to shout out Tammy Smith for helping me out. We're going to, you know, in addition to the other generous souls that got us some wire. So right now I'm just pulling off this corral board, and then I'm going to go around. We're going to cut the wire. We're going to hog ring it and staple it to Cayman Creek, and then the plan is I have to look at the tunnels here in Cayman Creek because these mud turtles are so small. What's up, Alyssa, Chinese box turtle? These mud turtles are so small, I think they can pass through the rebar that we have in the tunnels. I don't want them to go into that side because I think they're so small that the smooth fronts would potentially eat them. So we don't want that to happen, but I think this would be a very good habitat for them to kind of live in. We've got water, we've got land. We'll keep it nice and secure, high fences. Predators don't come in here. So I think this would be a really good spot for them once they have been released to me. And then I also have found out that we're probably gonna have to take a few more of them because yeah, there are a few more that need rescuing, and if we don't do that, the only other option is euthanasia, and I think that's just horrible that perfectly good animals aren't given a shot. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what we're doing, and I have to get on it right now. So I'm going to continue to pull this off, and then we're going to get some of the wire, we're going to cut it, and we are going to put it onto the creek. Cool, let's get to it. All right, we've got our smaller sized wire up. I'm pretty happy about that. Let me just give you guys a pro tip here. These are hog ring or C-ring pliers. Here are the little C-rings that go into it. And these are incredibly useful tool when you're building cages or working around the farm, fixing fences, things like that. So get on Amazon, get yourself a pair, and the hog rings right there. Good stuff. It helps to fix things together. It's easy. I like it. Just a tip. Definitely need them if you're going to be working on reptiles. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm just going to cut some of the board. I might even have some smaller boards that I can just line up in here. I want to retain some of the soil, so I'm going to dig it back. We're going to kind of screw in a couple of boards, and I'd like to screw a board in here on the inside that you'll have to step over the threshold to the cage, and that'll keep little guys in. In fact, I might even be able to kind of get the board nice and flush right against this. So we'll do that next, and then we'll have a look at the tunnel and just see kind of what's going on with that tunnel, if there's some way I can kind of reduce the size of those holes, maybe with some wire and a smaller gauge fence. So yeah, but everyone's doing good. And I think this will be a nice, big, healthy habitat once we get a few more weeks of getting these turtles dialed in. I think it'll be really a good spot for them. Here comes the resident snapper. Here's Marge. Hi, Marge. You like what I'm doing to the place? Oh, there she is. Slow and steady gets her food. Yeah, good time. So, all right, let me get to work. We'll finish this up. Then we'll look at some turtles. Okay, we got some Fluker food. Let's see how these Tabasco mugs are doing. Look at this. They look pretty happy here. Let's give them some food. All right, very good. Let's go on over to these guys. Tub B. And then of course we've got our snake necks in here. All right, let's see what we can find out. Maybe they're eating. These guys have been pretty voracious. Here's one going at it. Very cool. It's really good to see that these animals straight from the wild are eating pellets. That makes acclimation much, much easier. And we got to get more strength back into these guys. So that's good news. Some are waking up from the bottom. So these guys basically live in shallow, muddy bottom ponds and pools and streams, but they wander quite far on land. So they are adept at, you know, wandering around on land and so on, looking for insects and other invertebrates that they can nibble on, fish, carrion. Just basically the same behavior as most of the mud turtles you find here in the United States. They are kinosternin, which means that they have a movable, flexible plastron with a hinge, they can seal that up. They're tiny. These are adults. So these are a little group of, you know, mud turtles. Yeah, that one got a nice buffet blend mouthful. Very cool. Just really enjoying this species here. And so I'm happy that we got what we got accomplished today. It was a big job done. Not necessarily big as far as the amount of work or the difficulty of the work, but it was something that needed to be done because eventually these guys are going to get stronger and stronger. They'll come out of quarantine, and we'll be able to get them into that section of Cayman Creek, which is something that I really want to do. So we will be, of course, dialing everything in, getting them ready, and as I said, we actually have another 100 coming to the camp. It was either that or they were going to euthanize them, and I just couldn't let that happen. And I know you guys wouldn't want that to happen either. So I know I can count on you guys for all the support, watching the videos, and any help we may need. We got to keep these little guys happy and healthy. The long-term goal is to perhaps get some offspring back into the wild from these guys, which would be amazing. Look at this one coming right up. They love the dried mealworms and the dried shrimp, and they are eating the pellets as well. So you can imagine that out of the hundreds that were rescued, you know, a lot of these animals, you know, only the strong survive. So a lot of them have actually just gotten, you know, worn down from the illegal aspect of being shipped all over the place. And it's important that we do the right thing by these guys and get them strong, get them going, and then eventually I want to get them into as naturalistic a habitat as possible. And that is what Cayman Creek is. Cayman Creek, as you know, is an aquascape ecosystem, and those guys just do an amazing job at biomimicry. So here's what we did today as a refresher. We got all this wire set up. We got board, we got wire. We've set it up to where no small turtle can pass through this chain link. Now, obviously they can get in between there, but I'll be able to get them out of there if need be. It was very easy for me to just affix the chicken wire to the outside of the fence. But this whole place is sealed up now. Here are some of our Amazon species. Remember, Cayman Creek, for the most part, is a Central and South American habitat, but we do have some Asian box turtles in here as well because this is just such a secure place. I knew they couldn't climb out. Now, eventually, we'll probably have some of our Mexican box turtles in here as well. I think they can go in either because being that they are large enough, the caiman won't view them as food. I've also taken a smaller gauge wire and I've set it up in the cave. We did one on the opposite end of the cave. There's two caves, two culverts that act as hides as well. This one, the rebar is close to this side, and the other cave is a hide for the turtles on this side, but the rebar is close to the end of the cave there, and it's reversed here. So that's a hide for those turtles in here, but stops right there, as you can see. Stops right there. We have the wire in there. So think about it. We'll have a good population of little mud turtles in here. We've got our rhinoclemmies in here. They've done well. And incredibly, over the course of the last few daes, or the cold snap we had a little last week, I just want to be careful because here's our boy. There's our boy, Lucifer. But, well, what do we got here? Here's some of our Chinese box turtles. And I also saw a lot of our man-eye. Look at this. So here's our Central American woods, the man-eye, doing very well. They've weathered the cold no problem, which is nice. And of course, the Chinese box turtles, no issues there. So very good little habitat for everybody. I'll plant it out a bit more too to provide more shade and shelter and visual barriers. But I expect that these little mud turtles, you know, obviously I'm not going to have all of them in here, but we'll have a nice group of them in this environment, which will be very, very nice. I can even, if I wanted to, make like little puddles with some liner that just fill up when it rains, which would be kind of cool. Or I could have one of my irrigation drippers into it let it overflow, just to give them even more little puddles that they'd like to soak in. That's something that I think I would do for these guys easily enough. And overall, Cayman Creek is going to be a thriving habitat. Now, of course, there'll be a lot of turtles in here, but I'll be, you know, feeding, and these ponds and pumps are they're overbuilt. Ed Ballou, the pond professor, overbuilt this when we did the calculations so that we would have the perfect quality water. Plus, we've got the plants sending their roots down. We've got a lot of work happening here. So there's a lot of bio action going on to really clean up this pond, and I'm happy with it. So this is going to be a really cool habitat for those turtles, at least the ones that wind up staying here at the camp. So again, have to say thank you to everyone that's been helping out with this. It's just amazing. Oop, someone's calling me. Let me just silence that while I sign off, friends. And we will definitely be talking soon. So thanks. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan. And we appreciate all your support here. So thank you, and talk to you again.